Welcome back again, everybody, to our MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley here with Eric Myers. Another great week of athletics for Potter Sports. We're kind of in that part where fall sports are winding down. Winter sports haven't quite picked up yet, but one thing, Eric, that's still going strong is our marching band. Yeah, as you guys heard last week, as Coach Lindley and Mr. Hatter sat down, our marching band had just won grand champion the first time in the school's history, but they were not done. So they actually went down to Belleville this past weekend and beat O'Fallon High School, who wasn't at the ISU band competition, and was considered the best band in Illinois who was not there, and they won, bringing home another trophy, and now it's on to Indianapolis for even more for regionals. Yeah, they get about a week off, and then they go to Bands of America competition in Indianapolis. Mr. Hatter talked about how exciting it is for the kids to walk into Lucas Oil Stadium, so I know they'll be excited about that. Yeah, always super proud about all of our athletics, not just those that are on a quarter a pitch, but band, they put in just as much work as everyone else. Sometimes it might seem a little bit more, but they're out there doing their thing. A short season for them, so very hats off to them and congrats. So what about boys soccer? What happened last week? Yeah, unfortunately, as we were filming that day, obviously they were playing Geneseo. They won that game against Geneseo, advanced to the sectional final. Unfortunately, they did lose to Notre Dame in that sectional final game. Great season, conference champs, regional champs, first time in school history, the Morton Invite champs. So, obviously their soccer team takes home a really memorable 2022 season. Correct, and congrats off to that Notre Dame team. They actually won their game last night, so they're continuing to move on in the state playoff series right there. Soccer is kind of a unique one in the Mid-Atlantic because they've already got their postseason awards out. So let's run down a couple of these real quick. So our Mid-Atlantic All-Conference Awards, our second team, Ethan Gibson, Grant Selke, and Andrew Books. First team are Ian McLaughlin, Riley Lennington, Daniel Happick, Joe Campbell, and Tyler Kemp. And then we have the IHSSCA Awards. Say that 5 times fast. But big hats off here to Ian McLaughlin, who got All-State and All-Academic. Obviously, being a student athlete is more than just being great out there on the pitch, but you also got to do it in the classroom too, and congrats, Ian, on that. Daniel Happick also got All-State, Joe Campbell All-Sectional, Tyler Kemp All-Sectional, and then Harrison Day got the Sportsmanship Award. So congrats off to our soccer Potters there for a great season and a real great end to their high school career for some of those guys. Yeah, absolutely, and we wish the best of luck to them as they gear up if they're going to college to play there, or obviously as they get ready. It won't be long before they're playing their club seasons, and then obviously hopefully back for a great 2023 that just builds on this year. Correct. What about girls swim and dive? Girls swim and dive, you know what? They are gearing up for a sectional meet that is this Saturday, November 5th, and so a lot of excitement there. And I think, we talked about last week, Macy Schmickall, conference champion in diving, so hopefully opportunity to carry it over into the sectional. Yeah, maybe we get our first, I don't know, we can't find a lot of stats on swimming history here at Morton High School because we do the co-op with Washington East Peoria, but let's go lady swimmers. Boys golf award alert. So this is kind of how some of the postseason awards work. It's been a couple weeks after boys golf is over. Jacob Anderson actually received the Mid-Atlantic Conference's 2022 Outstanding Athlete Award last Friday. So congrats, Jacob, on that award. Yeah, congratulations to Jacob. Another group that keeps on winning, right, is, of course, cross country. And so we'll talk boys sectionals first. Josh Weeks, overall champ. Jonathan Westridge, he finishes in the top 10. So does Chase Souter and Leighton Canoop. So 4 top 10 finishers for our boys in the sectional, and that's why they won that whole thing. You're ready to move on to state. Yeah, pretty crazy. And actually, Coach, you got an opportunity to sit down yesterday morning with Coach Zeller and talk about this boys cross country team and their girls cross country, which we'll come back to in a minute. But let's hear what Coach Zeller has to say about his team. Welcome back here to our MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Lindley here with Joe Zeller. Coach, we're talking cross country, and we're talking first, let's talk about just the conference season and success of the conference meet, both on the boys and girls side. It's been a really great year. Sure. Yeah. At the beginning of the year at the beginning of the summer, actually, we sat down with both the guys and girls teams to talk about goals for the season. And for the guys, it was to, win another conference title this year. We've brought that trophy home now for the past, I think, since 2019 was the first time we won it. So we've been holding on to that thing for a while. And for the girls, we wanted to get a top 3 finish. And so we were able to accomplish both of those goals, which is, one more step in the right direction towards the end of the season. That's awesome. And then let's fast forward to this past weekend, sectional meet, and again, another tremendously successful meet. Obviously the boys at the top of that, but still a lot of success on the girls' side too. Mm-hmm. Again, just kind of take us through that. Sure. Yeah, we went into this meet pretty confident about what we're going to be able to do and that we're going to be able to qualify going into state. And so it's just really a question of what can we do to prepare ourselves for, this upcoming week.
And so the boys, obviously, our goal was to take another win home, and to do that kind of through some pack running. And so they were able to accomplish that, scored 68 points, which is a pretty solid total for them. And so that was really great. And then for the girls, now they're up against a couple of top teams in the state. The middle line is pretty stacked this year with Dunlap and Washington. And so to finish behind them and then a point behind Notre Dame, kind of, I think, leaves us a little bit hungry going into next week for them.
That's awesome. And then talk about going into next week. I mean, you're obviously the kids have been out running, like you said, since the summer. Mm-hmm. What is the training regimen kind of as you lead up into the state meet?
Sure. Going into that state meet, we don't really want to do anything different. The week of state is not the time to try anything new out, right? We're just trying to get ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally prepared for this big race on Saturday. So, our intensity is the same. The workouts that we're doing, the intensity is there. The difference is just the volume's a little bit lower, and so that we can finish some of these workouts with something left in the tank. And feeling really confident, feeling fresh and ready to go on Saturday.
Awesome. Can you, for folks that may want to get out and watch Saturday, can you just kind of take us through the schedule, like what's Saturday going to look like?
Yeah, sure. So we'll be out at Detweiler Park in Peoria. There are 6 races on the day for 1A, 2A, and 3A. The 1A races will go off at 9 and 10 for girls and guys, and then we will race at the girls at 11 and the boys at noon, with the award ceremony being at 1 after those races.
Awesome. Well, again, we wish you and the team the best of luck, and we hope to have you back here in the next couple of weeks to talk about the success there. So
Perfect.
Thanks a bunch.
Yep, thank you.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
Wow, Coach Zeller is all pumped up for this Saturday's state championships there at Detweiler Park. And let's not forget about our girls, right? How'd they do?
Did great. Kerrigan Vandal was 5th overall. The team finished 4th overall. Ava Burgess and Tegan Beyer also in the top 20. So again, girls, and Coach Zeller said it, right? The girls are really motivated this weekend because, they're in one of the best sectionals in the state, but they know they're not that far off. They finished 4th place in the sectional. They're not that far off from some of those teams that finished 2nd and 3rd.
So hopefully next week we'll be bringing you some very good news from our Morton Potters cross country teams. Hopefully bringing home some big trophies at that state meet from Detweiler Park. So looking forward, we got some winter sports are on the horizon. We're not quite there, as we talked about. We opened this show that we're close, but November 18th is going to be Cherry and Gray Night. Boys basketball is going to open Tuesday 11/22 at home versus Altamont. Girls basketball is going to open Saturday 11/19 at Rock Island, which we talked about last week. Is going to be a tough opening day matchup, and then wrestling is going to open their season on Monday 11/21 at IVC. So things are starting to roll. We're getting there. Girls basketball, their tryouts this week. Boys are next week. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of excitement. You talk to some of the girls basketball players, they're excited to get the season going. I think the guys are going to be really excited come Monday morning when they get going. And so, obviously, we're not there yet, but it's amazing how fast it kind of goes to get into that break between fall sports and winter sports. You think, oh, we got a couple weeks off, but next thing you know, Potter Dome's going to be packed. It's going to be basketball season.
Yep. And speaking of the Potter Dome, there's a person who has an office in the Potter Dome that not a lot of people know about. Katie Gavin. She's our athletic trainer here at Morton High School, and I had the opportunity to go down and ask her some questions about what athletic training means at the high school level and what she does for some of our student athletes. So let's take a moment here before we wrap up and hear from Katie.
My name is Katie Gavin. I have been at Morton. This is my 9th school year. I'm originally from Kewanee. I went to Illinois State University. It's a lot of game and practice coverage right now, but then there's also injury prevention where we do a lot of taping and exercises for rehab and kids that are post-surgical. We do a lot of rehab with them, but it's usually a good day when nobody's hurt, so it's just kind of coverage is nice. Probably just a sprained ankle. I see that a lot. I also see a lot of strained quads and strained hamstrings and things like that. But I'd say sprained ankles are the most common across all the sports too.
So what inspired you to become an athletic trainer?
I've always liked sports, and I've been athletic. I played sports in high school. I had a pretty bad ankle sprain in high school, and I went to our athletic trainer pretty much every day for weeks and weeks. And I really liked her job. I liked getting to know her and what she did, and I just kind of fell in love with it from there. I would say probably when you have somebody get injured and you recognize that injury, you take care of them and their injury and you help them rehab, and then finally getting them back to sport it's really rewarding to see.
Well, as you guys can hear there, she's really excited about her job, getting our student athletes back on the court, pitch, whatever that might be, as quick as possible, and lots of rewarding moments for her, helping our high school athletes perform at their best. So, well, what are we going to close with, Coach?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, just reiterate a big thank you to Katie for all the work she does. I mean, really valuable from the coaching standpoint to know that we have a really talented athletic trainer there to help get our athletes back on the court, pitch, etc. when they're ready. But to wrap it up, folks, as always, we want to encourage you to like, share, subscribe, stick with us as we continue to cover Potters athletics through the winter sports season. As we say goodbye, we're going to show you some highlights from last year's winter sports season, a look back at basketball from the 21-22 season, just maybe to get you a little excited as we roll into just in a couple weeks basketball back for 22-23. So enjoy that. For now, I'm Ryan Lindley. He's Eric Myers. Goodbye, everybody.
Ball fake pull-up blocked by Katie Krupa. Katie's going to go the other way, and she is relentlessly attacking the hoop, and she'll score. Ben now with it going the other way. He's got Newhoff with him. Ben's going to take it himself. Finger roll good. Okay. There's the lob play. Addie Engel will catch it, and she'll score. She'll find Maggie Hobson. 3 on the way for Maggie, and swish. Left-hand dribble into the lane. Over now to Bo Durbin. 3 on the way from the wing. Bo's 3 is good. Potters with 3 threes in the early go. On the elbow. Drive with the left. Tatum Lamprick. 3 from the corner. Up and in. 2:20 to go in regulation. Regional title on the line from Peoria High tonight. Katie Krupa, Telly Van Meenen, 3 on the way for the freshman. Go! Huge shot for the freshman. He runs it down 6 seconds. 5. Ben Carter's going to go to the hoop. He goes up and he puts it in. At the buzzer of the third quarter, Ben Carter gives the Potters the lead. 38-30. 10 seconds, 7 now. Hobson needs some help. Krupa, 4, 3, 2. Katie, step back. Up and in. Katie Krupa, the step back 3 at the buzzer.